Dandavat Pranam. So let's start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 22, verse 63. If anyone wants to recite the verse, you can raise your hand, and I'll be happy to unmute. Kirtayordhva Gitaya Pumbhis Trilokye Tatra Tatraha Pravishta Karna Randhreshu Strinam Ramah Satam Iva. Yes, Mataji, you can unmute.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Kirtayodhava Gitaya Pumbhis Trilokye Tatra Tatraha Pravistat Karna Randhreshu Strinam Ramah Satam Eva. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Kirtya Uddhav Gitya Pumbhi Triloke Tatraha Pravishtha Karnarandreshu Strinam Ramaha Satam Iva. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yes, Indra Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Kirtyorddha Gitaya Pumbhi Triloke Tatraha Pravishtaha Karnarandreshu Srinam Rama Satam Eva. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, Dr. Markande.
Hare Krishna. Kirtayodhva Gitaya Pumbis Trailoke Tatra Tatraha Pravishtaha Karnarandreshu Strinam Ramaha Satam Iva. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Okay. So, Kirtaya, by reputation. Urdhava Gitaya, by loud declaration. Pumbihi, by the general public. Trilokaye, all over the universe. Tatra, here and there. Ha, certainly. Pravishthaha, entering. Karna Randhreshu, in the oral holes. Strinam, of the woman. Ramaha, Lord Ramachandra. Satam, of the devotees. Iva, like. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Throughout the whole universe, in the higher, lower, and middle planetary systems, Prithu Maharaj's reputation was loudly declared. And all ladies and saintly persons heard his glories, which were as sweet as the glories of Lord Ramachandra. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. In this verse, the words Srinam and Ramaha are significant. It is the practice among ladies to hear and enjoy the praises of certain heroes. From this verse, it appears that Prithu Maharaj's reputation was so great that ladies all over the universe would hear of it with great pleasure. At the same time, his glories were heard all over the universe by the devotees, and they were as pleasing as Lord Ramachandra's glories. Lord Ramachandra's kingdom is still existing. And recently, there was a political party in India named the Rama Rajya Party, which wanted to establish a kingdom resembling the kingdom of Ram. Unfortunately, modern politicians want the kingdom of Ram without Ram himself. Although they have banished the idea of God consciousness, they still expect to establish the kingdom of Ram. Such a proposal is rejected by the devotees. Prithu Maharaj's reputation was heard by saintly persons because he exactly represented Lord Ramachandra, the ideal king. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 22nd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Prithu Maharaj's meeting with the 4 Kumaras. Om Agyan Timirandasya Dhyananjan Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Din Bandhu Jagat Pate Gope Esha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priyai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaur Vani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Throughout the whole universe, in the higher, lower, and middle planetary systems, Ritu Maharaj's reputation was loudly declared, and all ladies and saintly persons heard his glories, which were as sweet as the glories of Lord Ramachandra. So basically, we just heard the exemplary glorification of Ritu Maharaj's exalted character as a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I do want to hear from some of you that what is it that struck out to you the most in hearing Ritu Maharaj's exalted character from verse number 56 to 62 of this chapter, and what makes that quality in Ritu Maharaj, like how will you, or in other words, how are you gonna thinking of personally applying it in your life? Okay, so what quality is most outstanding, and how are you going to apply that in your life? I do want to hear some. I'm just going to read out all the qualities that we so far read, and then we'll speak a little bit about this verse, and in the meantime you can think. Okay, so I'm going to read all the qualities from 56 to 62 verse. So if you can, please hear with attention. Okay, is it clear? Am I making sense to everyone?
Yes, Mataji.
All right, so here we go. So in verse number 56, Ritu Maharaj was compared to moon because of his quality of pleasing and being celebrated. And he's compared with sun because of his quality of being powerful and exacting. Verse number 57, he's compared to fire because he's unconquerable, because no one can disobey his orders. He's compared to Indra because he's unsuperable, he's the supremost. He's compared to earth because he's most tolerant. He's compared to heaven because he fulfills the desires of all the living entities in his kingdom. Verse 58 compared Ritu Maharaj to rainfall because he had the ability to satisfy everyone. He was compared to sea because he's unfathomable. No one could fathom his purpose. He was compared to hill Meru because he's fixed in his purpose. Okay. Verse 59, he's compared to Yamaraj because his intelligence is in delivering exact punishment. He's compared to Himalayas because of his opulences, all the jewels and minerals that Himalayas hold. He's compared to Kuvera because of his riches and treasures. He's compared to Varun because no one could reveal his secrets. Verse 60, he's compared to wind because of his bodily and sensual strength. He's compared to Rudra because of his intolerance. In verse number 61, he's compared to Cupid because of his uncomparable beauty. He's compared to lion because he's fearless in executing the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's compared to Manu because of his affection, Sarvabhaum Manu. I'm forgetting the name. What is the name of the Manu that he's compared to?
Swayambhuva
Manu. Thank you, Manu. Okay, and then he's compared to Brahma because he's powerful. Yesterday's verse 62, he's compared to Brahaspati because of his knowledgeable of Brahman. And then we read that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compared Prakashananda Saraswati. Right? Was it Prakashananda Saraswati or Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya to Brahaspati? What did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compare to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya? Okay. Then he's compared to Supreme Personality of Godhead because he's able to control his senses. Krishna is also called Brahmachari, right? Because Bhishma Pitama declared Krishna to be a Brahmachari, even though he had 16,108 wives and 100 children, 100 sons from each wife. He's compared to himself because of his devotion to cows, to elders, brahmanas, and devotees, and in helping others with bashfulness, humility, and cheerfulness. Okay, so which quality? is standing out to you, and where are you going to apply it in your life? In this verse, Prabhupada is concluding the chapter, Vyasadeva is concluding the chapter by giving us a meditation of Lord Ramachandra. So nice. So his kingdom is compared to how Lord Ramachandra was ruling, completely according to an ideal king. And also he's giving that, okay, Prithu Maharaj's qualities were so nice that he was celebrated even by the ladies all over the universe, not just in his kingdom, but all over the universe, upper, middle, lower planetary system, whoever or ladies are there and they are interested in hearing Prithu Maharaj, they would hear and enjoy. So basically his qualities are naturally attracting, even to an innocent creature like lady. Innocent, not creature, innocent living entity. Okay, and Ramachandra ruled to establish an ideal kingdom. And the ideal word doesn't mean that we are going according to the context of morality. It means that ideal means that how one has to lead one's life, so that end of the life, one is going back home, back to Godhead. So interestingly, this verse ends by comparing Prithu Maharaj's kingdom with Lord Ramachandra's glories, or his glories as Ramachandra's glories. And next chapter says that Prithu Maharaj goes back to Godhead. Basically, one's lifespan has to be filled with so much mindfulness of one's attention to Krishna consciousness that at the end, one is sure of going back to home, back to Godhead. The devotees, pure devotees are sure. You know, I have had fortune of seeing some devotees who have been with the movement for over 40 years, 50 years, leaving their bodies. I have seen two of them. And they're sure, like you could see. And even the common people who come to take care of them, like the nurses are there from the hospitals, they're providing hospice cares to these devotees. So once the soul leaves the body, even I have seen the nurses commenting that their body, their face looks different than the faces of the dead people that we're used to seeing. Their face has no wrinkles. All of a sudden, they so much glow. So because at the end moment, I have seen 2 times. And there's one more Prabhupada's disciple who's living in Vidanagari, that he talks to us about how we have to be so careful with our time. And he keeps reminding, and he's on the edge of, like, he's basic. He knows he's going to leave, but he's preparing. And he's like really sure that he's not going to be lost. So basically, the devotees are sure. So that this chapter ends with comparing of Prithu Maharaj's glories with Ramachandra's glories. And next chapter, we begin with that Prithu Maharaj is going back to Godhead, or going back home. Okay, so I want to hear, and then I want to explore a little bit, 5 minutes, about the quality of Nishtha. You know, who knows the 8 stages of devotional service? Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha. Who knows those stages?
Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivritti, Asakti, Ruchi, Nishtha, Bhava, Prema.
Asakti and Bhava.
Sari khichdi bana di. Nishtha and then Ruchi. First is Nishtha, then Ruchi.
Yes.
Okay. And then comes what?
Asakti.
Asakti.
Asakti, Bhav, and Prem.
Yes, Asakti, Bhav, and Prem. Thank you, Dr. Saxena. Okay, so I do want to talk about a little bit about the quality of Nishtha, which means to have a quality of steadiness. I'm reading from Madhurya Kadambini, okay, because I found it fascinating. Anyway, we'll discuss that in a few minutes, but I do want to hear about some of the take-homes from this chapter of qualities of Prithu Maharaj, at least the last few verses. Who would like to share? You can write in the chat, or you must be able to share, because we are talking about a pure devotee here. Who would like to share? I liked all his qualities, but I really liked his quality of being fixed as Hill Meru. He's fixed. So he's not distracted, even though he's wearing so many hats. There's so many titles. He's juggling between so many things, but he's fixed that I'm doing all this as a service to Krishna. So that keeps the fire of enthusiasm going. So I really pray to Prithu Maharaj to bestow that quality in me. Okay. Prafulla Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Prithu Maharaj was a pure devotee Mataji, and perfect devotee, perfect grihastha, perfect administrator, and perfect father also. He begot children not for sense gratification, but for service of Lord. And he was a perfect administrator, and he wanted his citizens to deliver also. So he tried to the development of spiritualization of his citizen also, and was fixed in his devotion for so that he wanted his citizen also. He was not going here and there. He was not diverted in his mind. He was fixed, as you told, like Meru. And actually, that quality is more appealing to me. And he always wanted that he was also a just and strict administrator, and he wanted to be just like Yamaraj. And as he told, he was pleasing like moon.
Mataji, thank you for revising all the qualities, but where are you going to apply these qualities in your life? Can you share the second part? Thank you. I really appreciate that you're sharing
Mataji.
the whole thing again. But where are you going to apply?
We want to be firm in our devotion. We want to be firm in our devotion to Lord.
Mataji, talk in first person. I want to.
Yes,
not
yes,
we want.
Mataji.
You're only
I
one
want,
person.
I want to be firm in my devotion, Mataji.
I want to be. Or you want to become more firm in your devotional life.
Yes,
okay.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for sharing, Krishna. Okay, Dr. Saxena, you wrote some qualities in the chat. Tolerant as earth, just like decisions like Yamraj, pure devotee like him. Okay, can you share with us where are you going to see this application in your own life?
Mataji, I'm a materially sick person, basically. So, lot of anarthas are there. So, first, the most weak areas or prominent areas which I can identify that I'm sometimes not quite tolerant to others' opinion or decisions. So, first thing I would like to apply that I should be as tolerant as earth and as humble like earth. Second is regarding decisions. Sometimes my decisions are not fair and unbiased. So I would like to be rightful in my decisions so that I do not harm anybody at all. And third, of course, the supreme thing, that a pure devotee like him. All the qualities, virtues, of course, very difficult to have, but yes, I may make an attempt or try to.
That's your prayer to Prithu Maharaj. Hey, thank you, Dr. Saxena. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Anjali Mataji. Yes, Mataji, thank you for writing. If you can unmute, if you are able to.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Maharaj, quality of tolerance like earth. We should try to be tolerant. We should try to be. That's a very violent language.
Okay.
We should try to be tolerant. I would. We nahi bolo. I bolo. First steps, please.
Okay, Mataji.
Everyone, irrespective we like their behavior or not. Is this okay? Go ahead. Why don't you speak? Then I'll tell you. All right.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, go ahead.
Tolerance in whether in the daily life we meet so many kind of people, whether we like or not. Sometimes we know we are not able to just go with them. So when we read all these things and when we know all the qualities of Prithu Maharaj, at least tolerance is most important, and humility for me. I think I should try. I mean, I'm telling for myself that I should try my best to do accept the people as they are and behave with them like that.
Is that what Shastras say, that we should, by the way, that we are supposed to tolerate every single person irrespective of their behavior or not? Is this how many of you think that this is what, or not think, how many of you agree with the Shastric evidence that this reflection
Do
is
not
indeed
everyone.
Shastric, that we must or we are supposed to tolerate everyone's behavior, no matter what it is.
It is
Yes,
not
Yes.
agreeable.
No, Mataji.
It's
We
not
must.
agreeable.
Not
If we-
everyone.
I'm sorry.
Mataji, if we are not tolerant, we end up with quarrel.
No, Mataji, we
No,
no need
Mataji,
to.
not
It's
everybody.
not
There is a
agreeable.
way to
All
tolerate.
right. So Shubham Patil Prabhu, go ahead, because I heard your voice first.
Mataji, we no need to tolerant to all people, because all people having their own मतलब अलग अलग तरीके से वो बिहेव करते, तो ऐसा नहीं कि जरूरी कि हमने उनको टॉलरेट ही करना चाहिए। हमने चेक करना चाहिए कि वेदर वो सही से कर रहा है या फिर नहीं, और हमने ये देखना चाहिए कि अगर मतलब कृष्णा कॉन्शियस वे से हाउ शुड आई रिएक्ट विथ दिस पर्सन। हम एक
Should.
बार सह
ये
सकते हैं,
शुड
दो
वर्ड हमारे
बार
जीवन में बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। शुड। ओके, थैंक यू।
एक बार सहन कर सकते हैं, 2 बार सहन कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर ये चीज बार बार हो रही तो हमें उसको रोकना पड़ेगा।
हरे कृष्णा
कोई भी
माता
गलत
जी।
चीज होगी तो। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you, Shubham Patil Prabhu. Are you done, Prabhu? Shubham Patil Prabhu?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I don't know who was saying, but Dr. Saxena, you have your hand up, so why don't you go, please?
Mataji, in fact, there are two aspects. We can't tolerate everybody. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the case of Jagai Mathai, he did not tolerate. And when we talk
What
about
grounds he did not tolerate? What was the ground of intolerance?
because he had insulted a pure Vaishnava devotee.
Hmm.
And secondly, also when we go remember those Nama Pradha, Nama Pradha, the person who is blaspheming the pure Vaishnava or devotee should not be tolerated. So second aspect is mundane in our real life. We can if we are not able to tolerate, we can just isolate them or get away from them, but not disturb our own peace or equanimity. That is my concept of tolerating others. But we have to
Thank
be
you.
tolerant in all conditions. Thank you.
We have to, so your language is also a little violent. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Dr. Parekh.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I actually raised my hand for the first question that you asked, but looking at the tolerance, my feeling is very simple. You need to tolerate or not tolerate. That decision comes only when you are attached to something. You don't care for some madman walking on the street.
You see, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the whole idea of reading all these scriptures and discussing and spending time, all of you coming and I coming and Temple doing so much endeavor, is that we must be able to give evidence for our statement from the Shastras. Okay, as Prabhupada said, the success that I have, a little bit success that I have, is because I never said, I think so. Srila Prabhupada says that. I never said that. It's always from the Shastras. I'm not like trying to demotivate anyone here, but I'm just trying to follow or carry the message that Parampara is telling us to do. So I am expecting an answer from the reference of Guru Sadhu and Shastra.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
One second, Mataji. I don't think Dr. Parekh is done, so let him be finished. Dr. Parekh, back to you. Sorry to interrupt.
Thank you, Mataji. Basically, you only remain connected to the devotees and people connected to Krishna consciousness and tolerate everything and anything that comes along. But you don't tolerate from the people, you are completely detached, where there is no question of tolerance, because you are detached from them. So you remain detached from the remaining world. You don't need to tolerate because you are not even connected to them. So that's very simple. And as far as the Shastras are concerned, it says very clearly that you do not tolerate 1, 2, and 3 things like blasphemy to the Lord, blasphemy to your spiritual master, or blasphemy to any shastras and teachings of the shastras, because that's where your tolerance is 0. The rest of the things depends on whether you are connected with them, then you tolerate. If you are not connected with them, you don't need to tolerate. Considering the larger question, should I answer also the first question?
No, can you wait, because I don't want to shift the focus, but don't forget. Can you just wait?
Sure.
The other. Okay, Leena Mataji, please go ahead. Thank you, Dr. Parekh.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, I also, that qualities you said, tolerant like earth. In tolerance, as per my understanding, that is about, said in the Shastras, that threefold miseries, Adhyatmic, Adi Bhautik, and Adi Devika. In that sense, we have to be tolerant. That whatever is coming in my way, that I will be fixed in the devotional service. So, and second thing, that fixed like Meru. So whatever is coming, I will be, fixed in the service of the Supreme Lord. That 2 qualities.
So you're okay. So you're just discussing the qualities you're going to take home. Okay, thank you, Mataji. B. Shubharao Prabhu, your hand was up for a long time and then you just dropped it. Would you like to say?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I actually was thinking only you should not tolerate when either God or devotees are blasphemed. Then you should definitely come out with some 3 techniques. Either you should try to convince through shastras, or you have to be ready to give up anything in support of God and devotees, or otherwise you should leave that place.
Also, you're telling the antidotes for if we are facing another devotee being insulted by a third person, then
either Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Yeah, correct. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Prabhupada gives 3 antidotes. One is counter-argue from the Shastras and subdue that person. Another one is can't do it, then kill that person and kill yourself. And the can't do it, then just get up and leave. If we don't do any of these, then we are equally responsible for the insult that we are hearing. Okay, thank you. Surekha Mehta Mataji.
Anything on you can tolerate, but anything on the God or devotees.
Also, anything in you can tolerate. That's exactly my question is anything on you can tolerate. Okay, so why Arjun was told not to tolerate. Okay, thank you. Surekha Mehta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I would like to answer the first question, Mataji.
Mataji, then wait, please wait, because Dr. Parekh is also waiting to answer. I want to.
Yes.
Okay, if everyone can please open first chapter Bhagavad Gita, verse number 36. If everyone can please open. I'm pretty sure it's verse 36. Chapter 1, verse 36. First 2 lines of the purport, please. Okay, Dr. Parekh, may I request you to read since your hand is up? Just these lines, I'm going to highlight what lines, and everyone, please, if you can hear. Okay.
Yes, oh, okay.
All right, only these lines which I have highlighted. May I please request you to read?
Sure. According to Vedic injunctions, there are 6 kinds of aggressions. Number 1, a poison giver. Number 2, one who sets fire to the house. Number 3, one who attacks with deadly weapons. Number 4, one who plunders riches. Number 5, one who occupies another's land. And number 6, one who kidnaps a wife. Such aggressors are at once to be killed, and no sin is incurred by killing such aggressors.
So why is the Shastra saying not to tolerate? You know, I'm not a body, I'm a soul. So if somebody is giving me poison, like Lord Shiva tolerated. Yes, 8th canto Srimad Bhagavatam talks about Lord Shiva voluntarily drinking the poison produced by churning of the ocean by demons and demigods. One who sets fire to the house. Pandavas tolerated. They were actually sent to a Lac house. But why is the Shastra saying don't tolerate? Attacks with deadly weapon. Pandavas were attacked, right? Plunders riches. Kauravas plundered all the riches, occupied their land, kidnapped, and tried to insult a wife. So Shastras, don't be fanatic. The whole thing of me bringing up this discussion is that don't take Shastras as fanaticism. Okay, that anything that is happening to me, I'm just going to tolerate. One can set that as a goal, that that's where I want to be. But if I'm not there, then don't artificially portray it. Because Arjun was never asked to tolerate. Was Arjun ever asked to tolerate? What did Krishna say to Arjun when he saw Ashwathama in first canto Srimad Bhagavatam chapter 7? What did he say to Arjun? Do what to him?
Kill him.
To kill
Kill
him.
him. Why Arjun didn't say that? Okay, why Krishna didn't say, or did Krishna say? Not why. Did Krishna say that? Okay, leave him, because he's not a devotee. He's a demon, so he has only done a demoniac acts according to his nature. So leave him. Huh? What did Krishna say? Kill him. Did he say tolerate? So,
No.
and also there's another reference. This is Bhagavad Gita. One can say, oh, this is Bhagavad Gita, the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, foundation of spirituality. Okay, let's go to Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto. Okay, 7th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. I have to recollect what chapter it was. It was towards the end. Behavior of I think it is ideal family life. And I think it is verse number 28. Let's see. Religious performances. Or it could be. Basically, Prabhupada is writing, it is not this chapter. We're reading here. I'm sorry. If I can't find it right now, I will come back. So basically, Narad Muni is giving instructions to Yudhishthira Maharaj about a chaste woman. He's giving instructions to him about everything. But when he's giving instructions about a chaste woman, then he talks about, does chastity mean accepting any kind of husband? Or what does the chastity mean? Grahastha should not be attached to. I think it is this chapter. I keep coming back here. So I'll come back. I don't recall. Or if anybody knows from this particular class, what verse is it where Prabhupada says in the purport about what is a chaste woman? Is she supposed to live with a husband who is a monger, a drunkard, a meat eater, alcoholic, or what can she continue to tolerate that person, or what should she do? Okay, so I'll come back to it. So basically, my point is, don't be a fanatic. Okay, personal application of shastras has to be done very carefully with personal reflection, realization, and also in consultation with other people. So Dr. Parekh and Surekha Mehtaji also wanted to share the first thing, and then I'll go to Nishtha very quickly. Dr. Parekh, your first question.
Hare Krishna Mataji. If we look at the entire chapter going back then to the qualities, Prithu Maharaj came with a mission as a Satyavish avatar. And so number one, our life should also have some kind of mission. As we decide our mission, we must develop the qualities to fulfill the goals of the mission. And the basic thing is that we must achieve a peak performance to complete that mission. If we decide to become a Krishna conscious, that's our mission, then we must develop the qualities that can that can give you the peak performance. And lastly, you must see that the mission is completed by getting an end result. Suppose you want to achieve perfection, or you want to achieve the continuous devotional service, or a pure devotional service. All these qualities that Prithu Maharaj has actually confirms that he had a mission, he had developed the qualities and got the peak performance of all these qualities, and ultimately got the result by converting the kingdom into a beautiful kingdom of Ramarajya. That's what is said in the last verse. So this is my impression from the whole chapter.
And where is the application? Thank you. Very nice. Where is the application? Where do you think?
The application is, as I said, suppose my mission is to develop a Krishna consciousness first and then develop the devotional service and try and reach to the pure devotional service. According to that mission, whatever the qualities I need, I must develop that. That includes many of the qualities the Prithu Maharaj has, and the Prabhupada keeps telling us all the qualities that we require in his training in the purports. And then we must get the peak performance, means we must have the seva and the sadhana going on along with it. And lastly, you get the end result. We want perfection, you want pure devotional service, get it at the end. So you got to plan out and do that continuously.
Okay, thank you very much. Very nice. Surekha Madam Mataji, yes, Mataji, let's hear you, and then I want to do that. Nishta,
Hare
very
Krishna,
quickly.
Mataji. Mataji, as the Shastra says, Yasyasya Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Sarver Guna Yasya Tatra Vishadate Suraha. So like if we, like Prithu Maharaj, if our aim in life is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to go back to the Lord, then automatically most of the qualities will develop if we are sincere in our devotional services. Like all the qualities that are listed here are basically developed in a pure devotee. So if our goal is to become a pure devotee, then all the qualities will develop. And I, for personal application, I will try to develop my devotional services and love for God. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Okay, okay, I
Mataji,
found a
I
chapter.
just forgot one sentence to add, if you don't mind, Mataji. This mission that I am talking about is not like army mission, where you actually plan out and ultimately execute. It requires mercy of the Krishna. So praying to Krishna to give that mercy and praying to your spiritual master that he gives you guidance and the mercy both. So ultimately you need the mercy and guidance from the spiritual master, your associate devotees, and the Krishna. So that's very important.
Thank you. So I got the verse. It's Srimad Bhagavatam chapter 7 canto 11 chapter verse 28. Narad Muni is explaining the qualities of a chaste woman, and this is one of the verses. Okay, so I'm going to read it. A chaste woman should not be greedy, but satisfied in all circumstances. This is Narad Muni speaking. She must be very expert in handling household affairs and should be fully conversant with religious principles. She should speak pleasingly and truthfully and should be very careful and always clean and pure. Thus, a chaste woman should engage with affection in the service of a husband who is not fallen. All right, so Srila Prabhupada explains in this verse. So basically, if we just take the quality of tolerance by the face value, then we say, okay, this will end here, right? She should engage with affection in the service of a husband, right? If you just take the quality of tolerance with face value without understanding the depth of the water, then the verse translation should just end there, service of a husband. But it doesn't end there. It ends. It goes further to say service of a husband who's not fallen. So Prabhupada writes, this is Srila Prabhupada and not Prem Kishori writing. Okay. The word Naradama means a non-devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Yai bhaje sai bada abhakta, hinachar. Anyone who is a devotee is sinless. One who is not a devotee, however, is the most fallen and condemned. It is recommended, therefore, that the chaste woman not to associate with a fallen husband. A fallen husband is one who is addicted to the four principles of sinful activity, namely illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. Specifically, if one is not a soul surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is understood to be contaminated. Thus, a chaste woman is advised not to agree to serve such a husband. It is not that a chaste woman should be like a slave while her husband is Naradham, the lowest of men. Although the duties of a woman are different from those of a man, a chaste woman is not meant to serve a fallen husband. If her husband is fallen, it is recommended she gives up his association Giving up the association of her husband does not mean, however, that a woman should marry again and indulge in prostitution. If a chaste woman unfortunately marries a husband who has fallen, she should live separately from him. Similarly, if a husband can separate himself from a woman who is not chaste according to descriptions of the Shastra. Conclusion is that a husband should be a pure Vaishnava and a woman should be a chaste wife with all the symptoms described in this regard. Then both of them will be happy and make spiritual progress in Krishna consciousness. Revolutionary. I'm telling you, Shastras are not fanatic. So don't think and don't quote that because I'm chanting Hare Krishna, though I have to become a blade. So this was a discussion we had one time in a lecture last July, I remember. We had this discussion with Chitti Shakti Mataji that Trinadapi Sunichena, Taroriva Sahishnuna, Amanina Mandena Kirtanya Sadhari. What does it really mean? You know, because we are getting this opinion that, okay, give a respect to who is not worthy of a respect, and Kirtanya Sadhari, and become as humble as the blade of grass on the earth. So what does it mean? So one devotee said the nearest understanding that we can get to the verse is in the third line. Okay, and I'm going a little deep, but just understand that you don't take Shastras by face value. There's got to be a depth attached. So, okay, it says, okay, Trinadapi Sunichena, Taroriva Sahishnuna. How can we become this? How can we become Trinadapi Sunichena? Means humbler than a blade of grass on the road or on the ground. And Taroriva Sahishnuna, how can we become like a tree, which is always giving, and so tolerant and humble like a grass, tolerant like a tree. How? Because the answer is in the third line. Amanina Mandena. So give respect to a person who doesn't respect, who doesn't deserve to be respected. If we give respect to someone who doesn't deserve to be respected, then we can develop the quality. So it's the meaning, the understanding the verse is from the third verse upward and down. Okay, so don't think tolerance means anyone could do anything. And Hare Krishna people told us to be tolerant. I am not telling you. Neither are the Shastras telling us. It has to be understood with complete contemplation and understanding. Okay, and now I'm getting these questions in the chat, as you can all see, because can I read this Nishtha, or should we just take the questions in the chat, because now divorce questions are coming up? What should we do? What should I do?
Should read Mataji Nishtha.
First Nishtha Mataji.
Nishtha, ठीक है, तो इसको जिसको जाना होगा, then they can go and then we can take this divorce things. All right, so I'm just going to read and listen. It's so nice. Oh, this whole book is very complicated. It's only 62 pages book and it's so complicated. So Nishtha means to have the quality of steadiness or Neshchalyam, non-movement, right? We are talking about Prithu Maharaj's quality of being steady or fixed, like Hill Meru, like he's fixed, like that. That's Nishtha, like quality of steadiness or Neshchalyam. Though a devotee strives for steadiness every day, can you connect with that? Though a devotee strives for steadiness every day, while the anarthas are still present, he will not attain it. This is due to 5 persistent obstacles. Number 1, laya, sleep. Number 2, vikshepa, distraction. Number 3, apratipati, indifference or disinterest in spiritual topics. Number 4, kshaya, tendency toward a bad habit or toward bad habits. And number 5, rasasvad, taste for material enjoyment. So even though, so basically Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Prabhupada is saying we go 2 steps forward and then 3 steps backward, 2 steps forward, 2 steps backward, 2 steps forward, 1 step backward. Like that, we're like swinging like a pendulum in Krishna consciousness. We go, then we come back again. Where is Krishna? Where is no taste for chanting, no Srimad Bhagavatam? Why? Because we still have anarthas. And the anarthas are present because of 5 obstacles. Basically, the origin of the anarthas is also explained because of the sleep, because of the distraction, because of the indifference or disinterest in spiritual topics, because of tendency towards bad habits, and because of taste for material enjoyment. And then, of course, each one of us is further explained down. I found it really nice that this is a reason. Okay, okay, we'll take some questions. Anyone who has to leave, please feel free to leave. But if you have a reflection, realization, or question from what we discussed today in Ritu Maharaj's chapter, you can ask at this point while I'm going through this huge list of chat. I think I pressed the wrong nerve. Anyone with what if one gets the husband who's addicted to all 4 regulatory principles? Addicted to all means he's following the principles. When we say who's addicted to all 4 regulatory principles, to me sounds like he's following all 4 regulatory principles and he's a nice guy. Then why one gets such a husband? One can abandon before marrying. Do you call a man husband before marrying? This is so confusing. Can anyone explain this question?
One knows one is going to. So that's why, Mataji.
Mataji, you wrote this question? Yeah, you wrote it.
Yeah,
so when you're writing who is addicted to 4 regulatory principle, it means that he's following it. But and he's so addicted to them. Or are you trying to say who is not following 4 regulatory?
Who's not following?
Not
Mataji. Sorry for wrong English.
Then you see, the Shastras are not going to take our free will from us. This is an advice. It's not shoving down our throat. It's an advice. Prabhupada writes, such a woman is advised. It is recommended. It's a recommendation and it's an advice. Right? We read, Srila Prabhupada is advising. He's not saying you have to do this only. We always will have a free choice to do what, but Shastras are saying this. Then we have to make our own choice. We have to have we discussed this so many times. People in different modes of material nature make decisions differently. Yes, and someone remind me, what did we discuss? People in the mode of ignorance, how do they make decisions?
IST.
Huh? अभी तो बहुत बार मैंने बता दिया. People in the mode of ignorance.
At last of the time.
Procrastination, decision. I'm not saying activity. How do they make decision? Yeah, procrastination is result of more of ignorance. I agree. Postponing.
Decision against the prescribed method of scriptures. That is against the scriptural injunctions.
The activity is against. Okay, thank you. That's so they undecided. Person in the mode of ignorance can't make a decision.
They cannot.
Always doubting. Cannot make a decision. Should I do? Should I not do? Should I do? Should I not do? Okay. And person in the mode of passion makes what kind of decisions?
They are in Mataji, not to do or not to do, Mataji. And
Passion. Rajogun.
Very aggressive.
What?
They are very aggressive in their decisions.
Aggressive. Aggressive. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Okay.
They're
very like
fruits. They're very attached to fruits of activities. Their activities.
Let's stick to the discussion. We are not talking about fruits of activity. We are talking about decision. So person in the mode of passion makes decisions very hastily without giving proper thought. Just does it. Okay, and then thinks later. And person in the mode of goodness, how does that person makes decision?
Calm, quiet, and logical.
Balanced decision.
Cool.
They are calm, quiet, and logical.
Introspection. So, yeah, there's a lot of thinking and introspection, and also maybe consultation with seniors. So, depending on what mode is what affected by, we'll decide if we are able to follow the Shastras or not. Because the Shastras are advising what they're advising. They're not telling us to only this. Okay, it's like Arjun was given a choice at the end of Bhagavad Gita. Yathechasi tatha guru. Whatever you want to do, you do. I was hearing one class by Swami Bhagwan Keshava Swami Maharaj. He was saying, Krishna will take away everything from us. Slowly, he is. He's taking away our life and time of our life. He will take away our health. There's so many elderly people even if they have been healthy all life, suddenly have problems. He'll take away the health. He'll take away the riches. He'll take away the vision. He'll take away so many things in the memory. But there is one thing that he will never take away. What is that one thing that he will never take away from anybody?
Krishna consciousness, Mataji.
Your bhakti.
Devotional
Love
service.
for
Bhakti.
Your
bhakti.
bhakti.
Okay, anyone else?
Your faith, Shraddha.
Free will.
This is to Krishna.
Free will. Krishna will never touch the free will that he has given. You choose. I am giving you the avenue of choices to choose from. You choose. That is yours. Krishna will never take away. So if somebody has developed enough Krishna consciousness and enough nishtha by overpowering or overcoming the obstacles by holy name, then one will be able to follow what Shastras are saying. Somebody has not, then they will not be able to. And that's okay, because Krishna accepts everyone. But I'm just saying that this is how you decide. So divorce is acceptable as per Gita, Mataji. Divorce is acceptable. Where does Bhagavad Gita say about divorce? We're talking about Srimad Bhagavatam. Where does Bhagavad Gita say about divorce, Mataji? And where is this book saying about divorce? Prabhupada is saying that women can live separately, but that doesn't mean that she's going to find another man and do prostitution. The focus is Krishna. Yes, there are devotees who have remarried. There are devotees who actually, I know a devotee who has married 4 times in ISKCON, and he's one of the best devotees around. Because that is what is good for their Krishna consciousness. It's not that, okay, we are moving from one person to another for sense gratification. Okay. So it's the what is good is one's own Krishna consciousness, because that's what we are interested in. Name of the book, Mataji? Which book read me? I don't know who read me is Mataji or Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Mathura
Mataji.
Kadimbini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
The one which you are reading, no, about the
Madhurya
husband not
Kadambini.
Kadambini, is it?
Kadambini.
Kadambini, okay. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Kadambini means clouds filled with rainwater. Madhurya is sweet cloud filled with nectar. Madhurya. Okay, so Madhurya Kadambini.
Mataji,
Thank you.
what is the first anartha?
The first anartha, let me go. My goodness, my Guru Maharaj is going to talk on that. It's a very complicated chapter. Once again, Prabhu, I just finished reading the chapter on anarthas and I forgot. It's an essay. Oh, anarthas are from this. Okay, so the anarthas are divided into 4 headings. There are 4 types of anarthas according to their origin. Number 1, anarthas from past sins. Number 2, anarthas from previous pious works. Number 3, anarthas from offenses. And number 3, anarthas from offenses. Number 4, anarthas arising from bhakti itself. So the first and these are the 4 headings of anarthas, and under it Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains each. Arising from past sins, arising from previous pious activities, arising from offenses, and arising from bhakti itself. Don't go in detail. When we do this book, I'll let you know, but don't go in detail.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Krishna. Okay, so tomorrow, I don't know, I think